Yo, everybody. What's up? Okay, so I am talking about neck pain today. Okay, so I have a very exceptional success with necks, especially treatment resistant necks. Okay, and but one of the things I do is not traditional physical therapy. One of the things that I do, one of the dimensions of rehab with neck issues is actually a more holistic approach. And I find it's necessary in my patients to help them, especially the ones that have failed everything type situations. Okay. So if you are new to following me, my name is physical therapist Dr. Ryan Welton, coming to you from just outside of Tampa Bay. I got a clinic where I call it the I've failed everything clinic because that's what I hear all the time. I've failed everything. Nobody knows what's wrong with me. I get exceptional results in that patient population. I generally don't worry. Some people are more difficult, but I generally don't worry about helping these people. I published papers that statistically made medical history and readership. You can go to my school group below, SKOL, just look below, click the link, and go to my school group, and you can read my papers right there. Okay. So, all right. So neck pain. Okay. So neck pain to me has always been a two-dimensional issue. Actually, not always. When I first graduated, I did what they taught me in school, and I would, stretch, the anterior musculature, strengthen the parascapulars, parascapular musculature. And but I started to, like, yeah, maybe some people feel better, but I started to, like, the people that weren't getting better, I'm like, what the heck, man? I'm like, well, I noticed that there was this tension in most people's necks. But I'm like, these exercises aren't going to fix this tension. It's just staying there. So what is this tension? Where is it from? Right. And the more that I thought about it, I'm like, I know what this tension is. My patients are stressed. And when I get stressed, I hold tension in my neck. We all do, right? So I'm like, I need to address this stress thing. So I started having people try to, like, asking people to meditate, which I don't ask them to do that anymore because they look at me like, yeah, no, bro, not happening. So I'm like, okay, well, I need an intervention then that I can do with them, or a pill or something, because we don't have that type of society. Maybe one day we will, but we don't have that type of society where people are looking to do something like that, I found. So I just saved my breath and moved on. So I do the biomechanical rehab. Okay, I fixed their posture. Posture is beyond important. Okay, I fixed their posture and stretch muscles, strengthen muscles, the parascapular muscles, like most people. But I got to address this neck tension. Now, the real question that you have to ask yourself is, why would someone why would someone have feel like they have touched their necks? They have hypotonicity, right? So why would someone have hypertonicity in their neck? Ask them. Were you in a car accident? No. Did you fall off a ladder? No. Did somebody hit you? Domestic abuse, something? No. Well, the next question is why would that be there, right? And the answer I have found over the years of my patients is that it is stress. That's where we hold our stress. So now, with my myofascial method, I teach, right? People that are new to me, I'm a serial inventor, teacher type person. Click the school group below here, and I'm talking about, some more advanced ways of treating, and I teach in that group. It's free. Just click on it. So I'm a root cause thinker, okay? And if you are doing an intervention, but the pain comes back or the symptoms come back, then I think you would agree with me that we didn't get to the root cause, right? So if you didn't get to the root cause, because the pain is coming back, the person needs to come back all the time. So most of my neck patients that I see in here, I've seen physical therapists who gave them exercises and stretches. I don't stretch people's necks. They're unless there's a true range of motion issue, not from neck tension, from capsular contractures, arthritis, something like that, or facet lock. But I find that I almost never stretch people's necks. So they go to physical therapy, either does nothing or makes it a little better. They get adjustments at the chiropractor. They get massages at the massage therapist. And if they go to a neurologist, they, tell me that they get Botox injections into their neck. Well, why are they getting Botox injections? They're getting Botox injections to paralyze the muscle. Why? Because the muscle's too tight. They do this for headache patients a lot, right? But my question is why are the muscles too tight, right? And that would be their nervous system got upregulated. Everyone's focusing on the muscular system. I stopped focusing on the muscular system when I started seeing like symptoms come back. I'm like, no. What controls the muscular system? I need to get to the root of it. Well, what controls the muscular system is the nervous system. If you do not get to the nervous system, then you are treating symptoms I find in my patients over the years. That comes back, So I started, one thing you can do is, and it's super cheap, is have them watch the Earth Thing movie. You watch it, the Earth Thing movie on YouTube. It's got like almost 10 million views. It went viral, and it went viral for a reason. Is when there's an electron transfer, Tesla talked about it. There's electricity in the Earth. That 100 years ago, and this is a proven science now, that there's an electron transfer from the Earth. Now, it's not enough to go stick your feet in the grass, okay, or in the sand. What I find for clinical results is that when they sleep on a grounded pillowcase for $23 on Amazon Prime, people are going to ask me, which one should I get, Ryan? One with the best reviews that are the cheapest, okay? Grounded pillowcase, okay? And I can get about a 30% reduction in neck tension just by having them sleep on a grounded pillowcase, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm turning the volume down on their nervous system because the nervous system controls the muscular system. If you do not get to the nervous system, you're treating symptoms because it's returning, right? You got to get constant massages, constant injections, constant adjustments, right? But if you can get to the nervous system and turn the volume down on the output of that controls the muscular system, and the muscular system relaxes. Okay, I have all kinds of advanced ways to do it, but that's a very cheap way to turn down the volume on the nervous system and relax the muscular system, is to sleep on a grounded pillowcase. Okay, watch that documentary. I show all my patients that. At the very least, like 99% of my patients will report to me I sleep better. But I find from a clinical standpoint, I can get about 30% reduction in neck tension. Some people more. Some people, one lady was like, yeah, it's all gone by sleeping on the grounded pillowcase. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. So I recommend that. Now, when I treat necks, I do not treat necks actually without addressing the stress component to it. Okay. I will not treat a neck pain patient and just give them exercises. Although that's important, I will not give them exercises only. I always come at it as a two-dimensional approach. The nervous system and the strength and stretch and the traditional physical therapy thing. Okay. That is beyond important to get results. Now, these people, I have a student right now in my advanced clinical group, in my VIP group here. There's a way where I teach live with live Q&A weekly. And she's posting about how she's having trouble with a couple of patients, and she described it to me. And I said, if that were my patient, I would do XYZ. At one of them was grounding to calm the nervous system down. Okay, super cheap. People can afford it, $23 or something. And I would expect that patient to get. Now, these people have been scanned up the wazoo. She's saying I see them in here. I see the exact same presentation in here. And as soon as I start seeing that, and nobody can figure out what's wrong, or they say it's some bone spur or a herniated disc that like is barely herniated and it's causing this massive bilateral trap pain or scalene pain. I'm like, what? How? It's not even touching the nerve, you know? What I, even if it was nerve, I would still do this, okay? So I have a patient right now who has arthritis in her neck, and um, tried everything type situation, like I usually see in here, for neck pain. Now, I obviously am giving her strengthening exercises. I don't touch her neck. Strengthening exercises here. I use my myofascial method, and I release her neck. Um, so usually I can get about 10 to 12 degrees of range of motion by releasing her neck in my myofascial method. That is an online course. And I published that actually. And relieve pain in her neck. I published that in the case series that I call them reflex pain points in the paper I wrote. And then I am also down regulating her nervous system. And in 4 weeks, this woman couldn't turn her neck chronically, and now is asking me if she can go back to golf because she feels great. I'm like, not yet. Let's just finish this rehab off. Okay. I find it usually takes me about 8 weeks, 5 to 8 weeks, but 8 weeks for neck tension. Now, neck tension can cause headaches, TMJ, neck spasms that nobody can figure out type situations in here I see. Okay. So it is beyond important to address that. Okay. There's other more advanced ways of doing it that I talk about in my VIP group. But that's how I do that. Now, so one of the things that people don't know about me is that obviously I teach clinical stuff, but for years people asked me to teach business. They asked me to teach them how to open and run one of these cash-based clinics I have. This is a very different type of cash-based clinic than everybody has. Okay, it is a results-based clinic, and I've figured out how to target these chronic pain patients that have usually failed everything. That's why I call it the failed everything clinic, and bring them in, and I use my protocols and methods to get them out of pain immediately. No sales jobs. Get them out of pain immediately. That is what drives revenue. And is the person is sitting there without pain for the first time in years. That type of thing. And and then I do my protocols, and we rehab these people and help them. So I'm teaching people how to open and run these clinics. Now, these are normal clinics. What I see in this industry, this cash-based clinic industry, is everybody's like fighting over the same patients. Like what I have been telling people is, like, this door never stops opening, and it's not because they've heard about Ryan Welton or something like that. Most people don't know what I do. They just see my ads, and they're like, dude, this guy is describing my condition. Nobody knows what's wrong with me. Let me go see. And I actually say, if I can't get you out of pain on the first visit, you don't even have to pay. So I put my money where my mouth is when it comes to my patients in here, and I just use my methods, my myofascial method, my sciatica cervical redic course, or my rehab results course, and or some of the more advanced things that I'm working on and developing that I teach. So join that school group below, SKOOL. Join my group, and I'm teaching in there. That is a free group, okay? And then I have my advanced clinical group where you get all of my courses at 59% off. And then I have my clinical business hybrid group. So I teach the clinical skills so that you have the confidence, and people charge $400 for 30 minutes. Okay. And this is very different. People are desperate for someone that knows what they're doing, has invested in their education to be able to help these people. Okay. So people say, oh, everybody wants to use their insurance. No. There are people, trust me, there are people that are dying, literally dying, for someone that actually knows what they're doing and has the clinical skills and invested their time and education to do that, and they're willing to pay accordingly to that person's clinical skills. So if you are interested in that, join my free school group below, and it's pinned right there. More about it. Okay. Anyways, that's that. I am out of here. Peace. Love you all. Down regulate people's nervous systems. I think we all could use it, especially me.